What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, and I have a super unique one for you today. As a lot of you probably know, Halo Infinite early released their multiplayer recently this past week, marking the 20th anniversary of Halo. And if you're like me, you probably grew up playing these games. So you know, on this channel, we do typically Python and other software tutorial series. We've done apps, we've done widgets, and we've done just base Python programming, as well as a few games. And I thought what would be super fun in honor of the Halo release is if we did a little bit of a Halo kind of Space Invaders style game. I'm going to start every video in the series by kind of demoing the game so that you guys see what the end goal is and hopefully think that that's something worth building to. So I'm going to demo the game that we built here a little bit, and I am pretty proud of it. You can hear just kind of the epic soundtrack in the background. I've left instructions for how to play and said, you know, click anywhere to begin. So let's get into it. We've got a little some soundtrack playing in the background. I've got some sound effects. The enemies in each wave are automatically spawned in, and they kind of randomly pick heights to spawn in from, and I've set them up with a specific speed to come in at. And I've added some impact sound effects that maybe aren't the greatest. I've also made it to where each wave increases the number of enemies, so you can see we're on level 2 now, and we should have more enemies. I got these little 8-bit Halo icons from the internet. And in the series, in the actual tutorials, I'll talk through kind of how to grab images, how to scale them all to the size that you want, as well as there's a free tool on the internet for removing the background from images. So if you've dealt with kind of the super annoying, like you pull in an image you want to use and you have that like white rectangle around it, no worries. We'll go over how to do that too.
Game over.
All right, so there we go. So that's the game demo, and whatever stage of the project you're at and following along with, hope you're enjoying it. Be sure to leave a like on the channel, a subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying it, and good luck with your code. All right, so let's get started with part 1 of this Halo Space Invaders Pygame tutorial with Python. And really, to get started, we're just going to be getting the board set up because you want to kind of create the world in which you're playing before you start adding too much of the functionality. And so Pygame is a module inside Python, which means we need to start by importing it. And I'm going to start the game by importing a few other things that we're going to need as well. Typically, if you're creating a program from scratch and you haven't done it before, then you'll kind of just import things as you realize you need them while you're writing your program. I've built this before. I know we're going to need the time, the random, and the Pygame modules for it. So if it seems like, you know, I'm kind of doing this with foreknowledge of how it's going to work, I am, because that's, you know, the better way to do a tutorial series than just make it up as we go along. So there is going to be text in our game as well. So we're going to set fonts up at the beginning here, and it's kind of weird with Pygame, but you do this pygame.font.init, and you're just kind of initializing Pygame and saying I'm going to call fonts at some point in this game. And then we're going to create some window variables so that if we decide we want to change up our screen size later, we can. And we're going to do width and we're going to do height, and it's a pretty normal Python convention that if you're using constants, then you want to make them all caps, because in Python it's very normal to have all lowercase for all your variables. And so if you see something in all caps, you can be pretty sure it's not meant to change. And so now we're going to actually create the window. So I picked a width of 1,000 and a height of 700. You can play around with that as much as you want for your window. If you want to make it full screen, go for it. I found 1,000 by 700 is a fun little like pop-up window size game, and it works pretty well for what we're doing here. And so to create an actual screen, you do pygame.display.setMode, and then in here you put in a tuple or tuple, whatever you prefer. And you give it the width and the height. So if you're comfortable with it, if you know where they're coming from, you can put these integer values right in here, and that's totally fine, completely valid. This is just a little bit easier for me if I decide I want to backtrack and change the screen later. It's nice having them in a variable. And then the last thing we'll do up here is we'll actually set the caption. So I like to get a little funny with these. If they're not, like if you're not releasing it on the App Store or anything, like it's not for commercial use or a customer or something, you just call it whatever you want. So I said, Halo, please don't sue me, because this is obviously, I'm taking a lot of images that aren't mine, and you know, sounds and stuff. But that's the fun part about building personal games. Like, you can rip off copyright material as long as you're okay with the fact you're not going to be monetizing it or anything, which if it's just for fun, then you shouldn't be worried about that anyways. And so the way this is going to work is we're going to have this like running variable that basically says when the game is or is not running. And while it is running, right, that's where we're gonna stuff kind of all of the operational game code, and we use that running variable as a good way to like reset the game or stop the game when you die. So we're gonna do a few things while running, and one of the first ones is we're going to do timer.tick at a specific frame rate. And so if this is your very first intro to Pygame, you might want to consider going back and checking out like my tutorial series on the very basics of Pygame that's on this channel. I've created a playlist for that. But the reason you want to set up a timer to like be a frame rate, to timer.tick.framerate, is so that the game plays the same speed on any machine you're running, because a really fast, really new age computer might be able to process it super fast, and a slower, older computer might have trouble running it as fast. But if you use a frame rate, you're saying like, well, okay, run at a fixed 60 frames per second no matter what, or whatever frame rate you want. We are going to set up a frame rate of 60, and we're going to define a timer variable. That's why we were getting the red line before. And that's going to be pygame.time.clock. And so hopefully that makes sense. If you have any specific questions about why we did that, just let me know about it in the comments below. I'll flesh it out for you in a little more detail. But so that's going to be timer.tick.framerate. And then one of the first things you want to do is create some event handling. So you say for event in pygame.event.get. And this is really important because right now, obviously, we have an infinite loop, and that's going to cause your computer to kind of fuzz out and crash pretty quick. And so all we do, this is really the first thing you're going to set up anytime you build a game in Pygame. We're going to say if event.type equals pygame.quit, and if that's the case, we're just going to set running equal to false, okay? And this is really all you have to do to get a window to pop up. So let's go ahead and run that, and I believe that we'll just get kind of a blank nothing. Yep, at our size. But you see our caption, you see our window size has been set, so now you can play around with screen dimensions if you want to change it around. But I'm going to start fleshing it out a little bit. I'm going to create a background, which will be, will actually come up. I put a section in here called load images. So let's start with the background. That's going to be the first thing that loads in, and everything else gets drawn on top of it. And we get introduced here into pulling in images. So the minimum for grabbing a image from somewhere, pygame.image.load, and then the file name. When I make a game that has a lot of audio, a lot of images, a lot of any sort of assets, I always create that folder inside of my like project window, my project, what is that called? Folder directory in Python, because you can come up to your game and you can say new directory, and you can drop copies of all those files in there. If you don't do that, just understand this is where you have to put down the whole file path. So it's a lot easier if you do pygame.image.load and they're all in this directory, because then you can just do images / and then the name of your background. So I pulled in a lot of crap for this game, but I think Halo BG is what we're going with. Yeah, and I just pulled this from Google Images, guys, since this is not like meant to be released for commercial use. So grab a background you like from Google Images, make it your own. Make sure you like it, and then we're going to pull it in, and you actually don't need to worry if it's exactly the right dimensions yet. I'll show you why in a second. But so type in type in the name of your file right there and do pygame.image.load. And then the reason I said you don't have to worry about the dimensions too much is we are going to scale it to make sure it fills our image perfectly. And so that's a separate function. That's pygame.transform.scale. And then everything inside the brackets, the pygame.image.load, you're saying what image we're scaling, and then do a comma, and then you give it another tuple saying what size to scale it to. And since this is the background, we want to fill the image, so we want width and then we want height. Okay, so that should do it. Let's see. We'll see when we load it in. But then to actually get it on the screen, we want to add a function to all of this. And actually, I'm going to put everything in here that's supposed to kind of happen every iteration. I'm going to create a function called main loop, and I'm going to put everything that we put here inside main loop. And that might not make sense to you if you haven't built a few games before why we do it that way. It's also not the only valid way to write code. But what we're saying now is we're actually going to call a function that's going to do all of this that we kind of set it up to be just static initially. Now it's only going to be called while main loop is getting called. That's sort of the way you want to do a game where you're going to have like an exit menu or a start menu or any kind of like second menu. You want everything in your main game to sort of be operating under a function. So that's why we're going to set up this main loop. And inside the main loop, we're going to create a new function that we're going to call draw window. We'll call update window actually, because it's going to draw initially, but we want to keep updating as things are happening. And so inside of update window, the first thing we want to do is window. So we're defining what screen we want it, and then blit, which is like Pygame's block transfer. It essentially means actually draw it onto the screen. And then we give it the object to blit, and you got to be able to spell, but we're going to put background on the screen. And then we define a tuple for coordinates. And the Pygame coordinate grid starts in the top left with 0, 0. And as you go left to right on the screen, it goes from 0 up to whatever your width is. And the top of the screen is 0, and the bottom of your screen is whatever your height is. So that's why 0, 0 is where we want the top left of our image to be drawn on. And the other thing that we have to do is we actually have to call that update window function, and we'll call it right beneath the clock. So now what we're saying is every tick of the clock, which is 60 times per second, update the window with whatever we're drawing onto it. So that should be the minimum to get the background on. Let's run it just to make sure. And we don't have a background yet. Hang on, let me see. We might not be just updating the display. That's right. So we also need in our update window pygame.display.update. And that's what's actually telling your window to check and see if things have been drawn onto it. So there we go. There's the background. And let's carry on with loading in some of the other images. So the next thing I want to do is actually a little different. It's going to be the text. And that's because we're setting up kind of the static background, and in the next video we're going to be putting the player and some of the enemies on screen. So let's get the lives in the top left and the level in the top right. Let's do that next. And to do that, we're going to create two new variables that we're going to call just level, and we're going to start at 1, and lives, and we're going to start that at 4. And then we're going to define a font. So main text, we already did that pygame.init for the font, but now we're actually defining one so that when we draw text onto the screen, we've already defined font size and what font to use. So there are a few built into Pygame. You can also go grab a .ttf, which is a font file, and you could have another asset in here called fonts or just additional assets or whatever, and you can reference it just like we did a file load. I'm not that fancy, so I'm just going to use one of the built-in system fonts, but even if you had a different font, you would just put a directory here like If you had a fonts folder, you would do fonts, slash whatever, and point it to it right there. But I'm going to use free sans bold because that's a built-in font. And we're going to say font size 40 because it's a big game, big screen. And then true, and then false for bold, and then italicized. You actually don't need the true false here. If you just want to leave it at 40, that'll get text on there. I like it bold. I don't need it italicized right now, but you can play around with the style of it if you want. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create the actual text. So Live's text now is going to be main text dot render. And then we're going to use f strings, which is essentially a formatted string version. This does only work, I believe, in Python like 3.0 and on. So if you are still coding in old school Python, then you need to use like a string concatenator in version 2 of Python. But if you're using version 2 of Python, you probably know how to do that anyways. And so essentially an f string, for those of you who maybe haven't seen this before, allows you to combine formatted like variables and strings without having to do like concatenation of like plus str. So we're putting an integer variable inside of a string, and because we have f there, it takes care of formatting for us. And then true, and then you give it a color. We're going to go with green for a lot of stuff in this game because Halo's kind of got that iconic green to it. So we're going to do two. We're going to do lives text, and then we're also going to do level text. And we're going to put them in opposite top right screens. And you probably saw I put a space between every character. It just kind of looks cool when it loads in. I've made this game before, and I like the way it looks, but you don't need those if you don't want them for sure. And then similar to before, we're going to do window.blit, and then we're going to say, okay, the lives text, so that variable we just created, we're drawing that onto the screen, and then we give it a position. And this is going to be the top left corner, so we'll put it in 1010. And then we do the same thing for the level text. Excuse me. And this one we're going to put in the top right, so we'll scooch it over a lot, and we'll do 810. And that's probably all we need to get those guys drawn onto the screen. Alrighty, so lives and level, our caption, our background is loaded in, and we're ready to start kind of building things into this game. So you've successfully created the framework, whatever background you grabbed, whatever color you went with for your text. Hopefully your game is in a position where you're excited, you're ready to start drawing like the functional piece of the game onto it. If you found this useful, be sure to check out the next couple in the series, as we're really going to be fleshing this game out. And hopefully if you have been enjoying the series, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton. And just leave me a comment below with any questions you had or what you'd like to see next. And good luck with your projects, and thanks for watching. Thanks. Bye.